Hi, everyone. Jason Neufeld from Elder Needs Law here. And again, bringing you this video series because I'm trying to speak with experts who are in the world of senior citizens, the world of serving older Americans. And as an elder law attorney, I only do so much. I'm just a lawyer. And with me today, I'm thrilled to have Nicole Miller. Nicole's a realtor, and what I love about Nicole is she has specifically created herself a niche in representing and serving the senior community as a realtor. So, Nicole, welcome. Tell us about yourself. Tell us anything you want us to know. The floor is yours.
Well, first off, thank you so much for having me. I'm honored and very excited. Hi there, everyone. My name is Nicole Miller. I'm a real estate broker associate here in Southeast Florida with Realty 100. I have been in this world for about 7 years. And like Jason had said, most of the business that I do has become within the senior world. So I do a lot of sales for seniors, who are looking to downsize. I work with a lot of children where they need to possibly move their family into an assisted living facility and they no longer can live on their own, or maybe even moving them back up north to be with the family because nobody's here anymore down with the senior. So I do a lot of that. And it's kind of just been the last 5-6 years that I've just developed this team and the niche that I'm in, and I love it. I really do.
I love that. And tell me, how did you pick that? You know, there's so many different areas to focus on as a realtor. What attracted you the most to working with seniors?
It's a good question. So I got into it accidentally. When I first started real estate, my aunt lived in a 55 plus community. My grandma lived in the same community. My uncle owned in that same community. And they were the catalyst to a lot of the first listings that I had. And in that community, I started working with sellers and buyers eventually. And it just kind of flowed. And suddenly, as I kind of took inventory of what I was doing, I realized I'm working mostly with the 55 plus community, and I love it. You know, it's fun because you can actually make a difference. So I was doing it without really purpose. It was just getting a lot of referrals. And then as I built this business, I realized I have so many people in my network. So I was offering a concierge level clean out to close type of program. And basically that helped with a lot of people who were not living here, who literally would just send me the key and I'd send them bills for the cleaning lady. I'd be there to open the doors for everybody, ensure that little things were being done. If we were painting the place, if we were changing the floors or the carpets, if there was anything that needed to be removed from the unit so that it would sell better. So I just had this group and it would, and I was able to remove furniture anywhere from free to very affordably to make sure that it was staged properly. And, sitting with my husband, he said to me, like, those are your favorite clients. Like, you love it. And you're in there, getting your hands dirty. I wear my workout clothes. I'm not always dressed like fancy, and I'm helping. I've, installed baseboards when I've needed to. And it just kind of got to me when I realized, you know what, I really want that to be my brand. I want that to be my brand. And the reason I also got into it is, unfortunately, many of our seniors are not as tech savvy. They work with a realtor and they have no idea what happens to that listing after they take that listing. And oftentimes they barely hear from that agent. Oftentimes the listing is online. It's got a picture of the seller sitting on the couch. I mean, it's not the best way to present a property. The value of these units are usually low. So these condos are 50, 60, 100, 150,000. Agents in my market don't professionally photograph those units. They slap it on the MLS and they move on. My portfolio is professionally photographed. I've got one right now today, 119,000. It's being professionally photographed with video. So that was kind of just it's important to me to ensure that at any level, they're getting that professional.
So that's interesting. So you're putting in additional resources that very likely other realtors they're not going to devote as much time, love, care, and attention to selling that property. And you are putting in that service, which is
totally.
Yeah, so they're all going to be professionally photographed and video when appropriate. You do this clean out service. You're tech savvy. You're providing this extra level of care. Anything else that and because I think when people watching this video, you're not going to be able to service everyone, whether they're geographically undesirable or whatever the case might be. What else should people be looking for in a realtor that's specific to the senior market, do you think is important?
No, it's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a designation from the National Association of Realtors, NAR. It's
Mm-hmm.
called the Senior Real Estate Specialist. And basically, there are a lot of people now who are getting it because the baby boomers are older and there's turn. So people see that as a money-making opportunity.
Yeah.
And I didn't. That wasn't my thing. I've had it for a long time before it became vogue.
Ah.
So I would tell people not to just first off, it's a great thing to have that be your original baseline for choosing someone because they've gone through a course that really goes through the details.
Mm-hmm.
But I also will tell people it's important that you go and look and see what the person you're working with has actually sold. So we have websites online, certain accounts, and I don't know if I can say the names, but basically if you went online to like a Realtor or Zillow, you can see their history.
Mm-hmm.
You can see what these people have sold. And if somebody has a few, properties in an area that's not even a 55 plus community area in South Miami, there's no 55 plus communities there.
Right.
So ultimately, you want to get to the bottom of exactly what they've sold. And then what's really important is a lot of the communities are condos. The condo market in South Florida is very different than anywhere else. Financing is very different in the condo market. And on top of that, condos have rules, regulations, restrictions. They have boards. Some communities have a board for every building,
right?
Not the whole community. So it's being able to know somebody who's working with somebody who actually can speak and know how to ask the right questions.
Right.
When I take a listing in these communities, when I take a listing, period, I have a list of about 12 questions. I figure out who the property manager is. I send that to them. It protects my seller too, because it has questions on there my sellers should know, but maybe usually don't know. And then we get that back. We get that back in writing, right? You're an attorney. You like writing.
Right.
So we can see that, you told us there were no assessments on the docket. Thank you. And you told that to us in writing. So 3 months later, when something comes up, my seller is covered. And also figuring out what the rules and requirements are. So if you're going to be listing your property on the MLS and you're not giving, that realtor is not giving their client that, not giving the potential buyer, what is the requirements of the community? What are the restrictions? Can the community be funded under 25%? Once I know those things, now we have all this armor that we can go out there and advertise. Property can be funded under 25%. Condo allows one person 650 credit score. Not everybody. Some of the condos require everybody. And then on the flip side, everybody needs a 700. Why, you're not wasting your seller's time. So we're getting all that research done in the beginning, and we're making sure we're putting it out there to help the buyer's agents and to ensure we are spending the proper time and, energy on an offer, and that I know what I should be looking for my client, so that there is they got denied by the HOA.
That's super interesting. You're like a property matchmaker in that sense, and someone who's not steeped in the senior citizen housing market is not going to know what to look for. They're not going to be as good of a matchmaker as a senior real estate specialist such as yourself, who's dealing with these different, it's like, don't even present your buyers with a community where they're not going to be a good fit to begin with. And so it sounds like you're making the process so much more efficient and easier, as opposed to, let's just go see all these places. Yeah, let's go see all these places. And, 75% of them, a good senior real estate specialist such as yourself, it would know not to present that even initially. So that makes a lot of sense. And I think is really useful for people to know. And while we're talking about it, what is your region? What areas do you cover?
I am in Southeast Florida, effectively Boynton Beach, Delray, Boca, and Broward County. Boynton Beach, Delray, Boca are the areas where most of the 55 plus communities are. And, going through and having sold in so many of them, that's kind of a big part of where I am. That's where
Yeah.
most of them are.
As an elder law attorney, I'm in one of two positions as it relates to real estate. Sometimes we're buying real estate because there's ways for me to protect that in a
Mhm.
Medicaid planning context, and other times it's people are moving into an assisted living facility or a nursing home, and it doesn't make sense to keep their property. So it's really good to know a senior real estate specialist such as yourself, because this community has a different set of needs than the general population. There's no way around it, and you're serving that role. So I want to thank you for that. And we're about out of time, but if there's anything else you want to talk about and promote and say.
Yeah.
Before we end, I'm going just to let everyone know we're going to put Nicole's contact information in the show notes, so you can always reach out to her directly if you have any questions related to the senior market. She's there for you. Nicole, what would you like to say? What would you like to end with?
So, real quick, part
Mhm.
of me being in this community, I was trying to figure out how I can actually bring my contacts, like you,
Mhm.
and my amazing senior placement people, and my people who focus on ADA compliant, aging at home, building construction, everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
it spans the list. And so, it kind of was a little bit of a brainchild of mine a few weeks ago to start a community online. Anyone who's on Facebook knows, any moms who are on Facebook know about Mama Ramas and Mama Va and Mama
Sure.
Markets. And
Sure.
so I made a group, and the website is Senior Living SFL, like South
Hmm.
Florida,
Yeah.
seniorlivingsfl.com. That'll take you to the Facebook group.
Oh,
Join
great.
us, share it. You don't have to be a senior. You have a senior in your life. If you're the
Yeah.
child of a senior, grandchild, sole caretaker, in that group, you can come and ask questions. You can say you have a problem with this going on. How can I get in touch with someone to help my mom get rides? Do you know a doctor locally? All the different questions, estate planning, everything. We've got, I'd say probably, Jason, we probably have like 80 professionals in that group now.
Great.
So
We will
any kind of
absolutely.
question you think of, please join us. We'd love to be able to educate and help, the community in that respect. So thank you, Jason. I appreciate your time so much.
Yeah.
And
In
if
addition
you
to
guys
your
have any questions, don't feel
you got
don't
it.
hesitate to reach out.
Thank you so much. In addition to your contact information, we'll put a link to that Facebook group in the show notes as well. Nicole, thanks so much for being here. It was really thank you for providing a lot of valuable information.
Thank you for having me.
You
Have
got
an
it.
awesome week, guys.
You too.